Hi, my name is Peter Karutz, and I'm with Catholic Men for Christ. We have a convention or a conference every year. The last few years it's been at the Peabody Center. And today I'd like to introduce you to a young man. His name is Josh Deters. Josh, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I understand that you wound up at the conference last year. Tell me, how'd you happen to find your way in the midst of 2,000 other men?
Yeah, sure. Actually, my dad was the one that invited me and brought me there. He's Catholic. His whole family's Catholic. They have been, their whole lives. My mom actually was a Catholic convert. She converted when my father and her got married. But they separated actually within the first year after I was born. Mm-hmm. So she actually left the church. Right. And so my whole life was spent going one weekend to Catholic Mass, the next weekend to a Protestant service, and back and forth. I'd always asked a lot of questions about the church, and my dad had always, tried to teach me here and there, but it wasn't until I went to this conference actually that I made the decision to become Catholic.
Is that right? Well, good for you. Yeah, it's a dynamic that happens more and more these days. I know my parents were separated as well. But tell me, let's go back a little further. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to school? Walk me through the life.
Yeah, sure. I actually am born and raised in St. Charles, Missouri. Went to public school my whole life. Started out college at Missouri State. I went there for 4 years, and then went to Lindenwood University for my last 3 years. The 4 years of Missouri State were spent, getting all the partying out of the way, all the drinking and all that.
That's
and then,
a confusing time.
Yeah, and then I had to go to Lindenwood to actually get a degree.
Yeah. I know I went to Loyola University, and I was thinking about joining a fraternity. I think they majored in drinking and minored in thinking about drinking. So those things will happen, but it sounds like you found a different way over there at Lindenwood. Yeah,
definitely. Well, I didn't have a faith for the most part at Missouri State, really. It was a time spent really searching. Partied a lot, got into drugs and everything like that. And then at one point I just kind of, looked myself in the mirror and was like, who am I? And I actually decided to get involved with a Baptist organization there at Missouri State, for a while. And so I did that for a little bit, but the questions kept resurfacing, about the differences between Catholicism and Protestant traditions. And I got baptized for a second time.
Did you?
Yeah, within this Baptist organization. And I told my dad, I was like, yeah, I'm getting baptized again. He said, well, you've already been baptized. You don't need to do that. And so I started thinking, and we started dialoguing again through
It does get confusing, doesn't it? Protestant organizations, there's, 50,000 of them. It can be difficult. But let's walk forward a little bit. I guess you went to the Catholic Men for Christ conference. What was going on in your life around that time? And I guess you said your dad invited you, which is good. I'm glad.
Yeah, he did. He'd always, tried to teach me about the church. One of our favorite things to do was to sit up late at night and talk philosophy and theology, even from an early age for me. But that was the one thing that actually made me decide to become Catholic, was going to that conference.
Tell me, what touched you there?
Yeah, it was at a point in my life where, I was just about to graduate college, and it was like, I'm about to reach this goal, what's next? Yeah. And I didn't really know, nothing really seemed to appeal to me. Life in general didn't seem that appealing. I broke up with my girlfriend the day before the conference, and I went there and I was like, all right, this could be really good. I really need this right now. And the speakers there were really tremendous. Cardinal Dolan and Father Calloway in particular. He was really dynamic, and the talks that he gave really hit home with me. Because I could relate to, he would talk about how he had a troubled childhood, and I had nothing like he did, but I could relate to some of the struggles there, and he gave a talk on Mary that really hit home with me. I'd never heard anything like that before on Mary, ever, and so I was just sitting there thinking like, wait, you mean to tell me that the most beautiful, perfect girl ever to have existed wants to be my mother, shower me with blessings, and help make me a saint?
Where's this secret? Awesome. Who has to keep these things a secret,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Well, but you have a dynamic that's not uncommon to many communities, many families. You have a Protestant in the family, you have a Catholic in the family, and Mary might be considered a divisive issue. So I can see that. You know, it does remind me of St. Maximilian Kolbe. He said, never worry about loving Mary too much, because you can never love her more than Jesus did. That even hits home with Protestants, right? Right. We all love Jesus. But tell me, today, where are you at in your faith journey? You have a parish? Where are you at?
Yeah, sure. I'm actually enrolled in the RCIA classes at St. Joseph's Parish in Cotterville.
Oh, very good.
It's great. I'm really learning a lot, and I'm about halfway home to Easter right now.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm really looking forward to being able to take the Eucharist. I've been to Mass hundreds and hundreds of times in my life. Never been able to go up and receive communion, so I feel like I'm so close. You know, I can almost taste it.
I know.
As far as the faith goes, immediately after that conference, I just started reading tons of books on the faith. Yeah.
Tell me one of the books you enjoyed.
I read Mere Christianity.
Oh, did you really? What a great book.
Yeah, not a Catholic writer, but it was really good.
I think he was almost on the verge.
Right.
I really do.
Right.
I really do.
Yeah, and I read some St. Augustine, Confessions of St. Augustine. That was really good. I understood a little bit of it, so what I did understand was really good.
What did he say? He says, our hearts are restless until they rest in the Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, what profound writings.
Right.
Well, and you're still going through RCIA and reading the Confession of St. Augustine. Well, good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you. Yeah, you know, you talked about Mary. Mary is the heart of the church, and you talk about longing for the Eucharist. I think about her Annunciation, or the Annunciation of our Lord. What happened at that moment when she said yes? She was the first person to receive communion. She received the Lord, His body, blood, soul, divinity in her. We all should have that kind of a longing, the longing that you have. But, you know, women are the heart of the church. But I truly believe that this world will change and be changed by young men like you, young men of faith. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Great to have you in the church.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our few minutes talking with Josh and learning more about his story. I encourage you to look for Catholic Men for Christ on the web. We have a conference every year. Thousands of men get together to pray together and alone, to love the Lord and to continue to study like this young man, to learn him more, to learn more about him, and to love him more. God bless you all.